many of us as children are not given a proper systematic way to solve problems in life. Some people are given, if they, if the parents did it properly, then they know. But many of us, I know my parents probably didn't know, but sometimes they didn't even know how to effectively solve the problem. They might knew the problem, how to solve the problem, what they knew at the time, but beyond that, there's no specific problem solving mechanism that is offered or given by even school. So like I feel like at least in my school, no one like literally told this is how you write down a problem, this is how you create like a step-by-step plan. You know what I mean? How to brainstorm. None of these things I feel like I learned in school. And if this becomes a lot more easy if you're going into engineering or software, because you're probably doing this all the time. You have a problem and you come up with basically brainstorm all the solutions you have, and then you organize that solution into a step-by-step system to check it out until it removes it, right? So unless in your engineering or, some sort of a scientific field, then the problem-solving mechanism, systematic problem-solving might be very natural to you because it's like, oh, how else would you do it? But funny thing is that when I was studying in, high school or even university, when I studied like psychology, this was not actually offered, right? So systematic way of solving problems. Again, when you have a proper system where you improves your decision making, improves your creativity, it definitely going to help you reduce your stress, improves your confidence, and obviously it's going to make you more consistent on how well you do in your career and how well you do in your life. So that's some of the benefits of this. You know what I mean? So that's important to really understand. Perfect. So we talk about, writing the problem down. We kind of did that in the beginning. That's why I wanted to show how to write it. So that's what you did, right? Now what you can do is come up with some of the solutions. So say that, I'll show you an example. So, I wish I could start my dream career, but I don't know how. So that could be one of the things that we saw as a problem or something you wrote down. So now what you do is that, brainstorm some solution for it. Identify your roles, identify your responsibilities, some of the things that going on Google, going on ChatGPT, whatever it may be, right? See if you can come up with solutions. You can literally say in ChatGPT, I wish I could start my dream career, but I don't know how. Can you provide me some solutions? Literally put it out, right? And then see what are the options it shows you, and pick the options that you resonate with, or pick the solutions that you resonate with, right? So in order to find your dream career, you need to figure out what your ideal role is, right? So things like that could be one of the solutions you need to first figure out how to do. So every problem you will see, there's a series of solutions that you can try out. They could be literally steps that you can do, right? So that's one of the main things that you can now systematically arrange them into step-by-step processes or step-by-step steps, right, that you can arrange and you start working on. So that's one of the main things that the second phase of this is really identifying some of the solutions. Because if you don't do this step, what happens is your mind just keep getting carried away with one problem after the other. Where I see some of us, when initially I didn't know how to do this, I would just keep writing my problems only, thinking that would solve it. It didn't. I actually had to sit down and think about how would I actually solve this, right? Does anyone even know how to solve this thing? So if anybody somewhere have solved it, that means I can solve it for sure. So I started looking for it. So when I was in university, I remember in my second year, I had a really hard time. I really wanted to get good grades, but I really didn't know how. So, and it really frustrated me because I'm studying. Why am I still getting like 70s? What's going on? So I really wish I could get, better grades, and I couldn't. I literally wrote it down. And then I literally started down, okay, what are the things I can try? So I went online, and then I actually found this group of individuals, right? Group of guys who were getting like 3.9 GPA. And then I asked them, like, what do you do? And then I wrote down everything, all the things that they did for it, right? And some of them like, oh, you need to really study your details of your slides. That's one of the main things that is important. So that's one of the things. And then one of them said, you need to start studying, start doing your assignments at least like 14 days before, because then you have enough time. You're not going to get stressed out. I was like, okay, that's another one. And then I looked at another one and they say you need to have a specific system to study your textbook. And the way he said is like basically survey, read, take notes. So these things I wasn't really doing, right? But I started to do them because I started to look for actual solutions for my problem. Then by like looking for these solutions, I started to again write them down on my literally book, right? The journal I had, these solutions. And actually the why you see in Amazon, I got 3 books going on. They are literally advice from there. Like there's how to land a job, how to pass exams, right? How to do interview. So these are part of the journaling that I did, that I wrote these books. So that's literally how I came up with it, right? That's how I found the solution. Now I'm writing about, how to start a great business, how to launch it, how to scale it, right? How to, resolve your anxiety or stress, how to become a good leader. Some of the problems that I'm working and solving right now. And that's why even, you will see when my books come out, it says start journaling, right? Because that's a huge solution for the problem I was going through. So that's really what it is about. It kind of opens up, for you to create and even experiment with, would this be effective? Right? So even for this example, I wish I could start my dream career. Identify your role. So about 6 years ago, I left the corporate, 7 years ago, I think now, I left the corporate world. Like, man, I don't want to do this, the stuff I was doing in tech. Where do I do now? And then I sat down and I literally wrote down, man, I would love to become a psychotherapist. I would love to go to coaching. I would love to go to, start writing books. Right. So then my role became a writer, author, counselor. I didn't know. I just sat there and did that. And that's how I now do what I do now. And the same with like responsibilities. What do I like to do? I like to help people with people's emotional issues, or I like to help people become better leaders, how people start their businesses and services. I love that. So I was like, oh man, I didn't know I love that. So it's kind of, once you started to work and see these solutions and started to think about them on paper, it will become more and more easier for you to do. But, one of the main things I saw before I started journaling though, is that I would have a problem. I was like, oh, I should do that. And then I forget to do it. And then I would get another solution in another book. Oh, I should do, then I do it. And because it's not, there's no logical steps, I would do it. Then I would forget about that I did that. Or I was like, oh, it's effective. I would only just do that. And then over time, it's not going to be effective for the rest of the problem side of the problem, right? So that's really what I found, is that systemizing issue, like, problem, here are 6 steps I can take. Like organizing, keeping in one place really helped me check out which one did I check against this problem. Okay, I checked this one didn't work. Okay, how about check this one? Oh, that works. I should keep that one, right? So having that record really helped me to repeat what I need to do to solve a problem when it does come up later on in my career, in my life, right? So that's one of the key things that I want to leave you with, is write down the solutions so you can see which one is actually effective, which one's not for you. Because otherwise, I know I did a lot of redundancies, kept reading books after book after book, looking for solutions, didn't help. And then I realized, like, there's basic stuff I got to find. Okay, what are 6 things I can do about this problem? Best 6 things I can do. And then I went online, find the books and write it and tried it. And then I have, like, even for like helping people, start their career, there's like 8 things that they got to do to make sure that happens, right? So, and that's what really matters. That's bring the greatest results. So knowing and writing your solution down has become a huge aspect of journaling. This is one of the main things you will see. Like I said, it's like a lot of us are not taught this skill. And, easiest way to kind of master it, just write down your problem and go on ChatGPT and it's like, how would I solve this problem? Right? Even Google or ChatGPT, just casually ask and then see which one of these options that I can implement right now. List them out in that way, right? Simple as that, right? And then start putting on your journal. This is what I'm going to do. Check. There's another one. Put another checkbox. If you've done it, check it, right? So keep going with that and see if that system works for you. Okay. That's one of the books I wrote called How to Study Checklist, one of my first books, because it is a checklist. If you do the stuff in there, it's natural that you will get good grades in your classes. So that's one of the first ones I read. And then that's what was effective for me to help people with get better grades even to this day.